Hey everybody, today I wanted to talk about this half girl, half demon, and I am not talking about my 3-year-old daughter, but I am talking about Sakiri. Now with Sakiri, I wasn't considering Sakiri to be a character that I really wanted at the start of the game. But once I got into the game and I started playing more, and I got through the betas and everything, I realized that Sakiri is going to be a pretty good standard banner character for me and my plans going forward in the game. Now Sakiri is an incantation character who offers buffs as well as a little bit of crowd control when it comes to mobbing. She's decent at that, but overall for me she's kind of just a buffer and an incantation bot. Her best arc is a free-to-play arc, Good Boy's Grand Adventure. You can easily unlock this arc by going and fighting Morphix, the Anomaly Pilgrimage, after doing the Pawn Shop quest, the Pawn Stars quest. So once you complete that, go and fight this weekly boss and you will unlock Sakiri's Best in Slot arc. And this is just her Best in Slot as of 1.0. We'll see what happens in the future, but it gives flat attack percent. It gives a charge efficiency buff, which you want good charge efficiency for Sakiri in order to get off her Esper cycle rotations. She's not somebody that you want on field for too long. And the arc also increases your team's attack by 10% for 20 seconds after the wearer casts an ultimate. She increases the team's attack by an additional 6% if the enemy are controlled by the ultimate. So when we take a look at her ultimate, you'll see why this is so good. And of course we can't forget to talk about Sakiri's console, which if you could tell by my sweater change, I forgot and I had to re-record this part. But for Sakiri's console, we're going to want to look at using the Speedy Hedgehog cartridge. The 2-piece set effect has charge efficiency, which is going to help us get our Esper cycles off quicker. And the 4-piece set effect has an increase to your allies' attack by 15% when the wearer casts their ultimate. So this is just a further attack boost when you use Sakiri's ultimate. The 2 priority stats that you're going to be looking for are going to be attack percent as well as cycle intensity. So keep an eye out for those. And then from there, damage, break intensity, and flat attack are also good. Now Sakiri's ultimate is so dope here because when you cast her ultimate, it does some damage and suppresses enemies, but it also increases your team's attack, excluding Sakiri, based on Sakiri's base attack. So getting that base attack up, stacking the ability from the arc with your ultimate, you're granting a huge attack boost, so you could swap into your main character, get off an Esper cycle, and just pump out damage with your main. Or your main DPS, not your main character. Sakiri's passive, Can I Eat This, enhances Scorch, which is why Sakiri is going to have a pretty special spot on my team in the future. Scorch increases dot taken by the target by 25% for each type of dot while in the Scorch state, up to 100%. And then her second passive reduces enemies' defense by 10% for 20 seconds after inflicting airborne or suppress. So this synergizes with her ultimate, which suppresses enemies, so it reduces their defense by 10%, which is pretty big. The priorities when it comes to awakenings, if you happen to get more than one copy of this goblin, I would probably prioritize Wishful Resilience, which increases your team's attack by 30% of Sakiri's base attack for 20 seconds after casting Feast of Gluttony. I would prioritize Sensory Collapse as the second awakening because this will allow you to get off more ultimates. When you use your skill and it knocks an enemy airborne, it will reset the cooldown of your ult and fill up your ult energy. She attacks with this other demon that is very hungry. You could tell it's hungry because she'll use it like a vacuum cleaner to destroy enemies. This doesn't work on bosses obviously, but it is pretty useful when you're in the train endgame. You could clear some mobs a little quicker. Her skill's pretty cool. Casting your skill one time like that will draw enemies in and it can help you with pulling enemies together and grouping them up. But in order to get that knock-up effect, you're going to want to click and hold your skill because this is going to knock the enemies up and make them airborne and cause it to rain upwards black goo. That's cool. Now my current team comp with Sakiri on release, with Nonali being the only character available, I'm using Sakiri with Nonali and the main character Esper 0, and then I've got Haniel in there just to utilize some extra buffs. I like to lead the fight with Sakiri, charge up my Esper cycle, get her ult off, swap into Nonali, pump out damage with Nonali until she's charged up and I've used my full rotation with her. Then I'll swap to old Nif here, Esper 0. I'll use her quick swap in order to get back to Nonali and get more Blossom going. I'll basically go Sakiri Hexed into Nonali, Nonali into 0 for Blossom, 0 back into Nonali for Blossom, And then once I finish up here with Nonali, I might not have her fully charged up, but if I'm waiting for my rotation to be back up for her, I'll swap into Sakiri, charge her up, and throughout all of this, I will squeeze in Haniel to get her skill off. So it's pretty fluid, pretty easy, but my plans with this team right now are to swap a lot. Once Hattori comes out, I'm going to swap Nif here. I'm going to swap Zero out for Hattori. I'm going to swap Sakiri out for G1, and I'm going to swap Haniel out for Hathor, I think. That's my current plans, I think, but what I plan on doing with Sakiri in patch 1.1 once we get our Queen Lacrimosa, I plan on using Sakiri. We could pretend like Nonali here is Lacrimosa, and in place of Zero, I plan on running Daffodil and Haniel will stick around. That way I'll have 2 Chaos users, I'll have Incantation, and I'll be able to activate Scorch, I'll be able to activate Discord, and I'll be able to activate Nova. So I'll get all those with Sakiri, like heading that as the buffer. Sakiri and Haniel will deal the buffs, and then Daffodil and Lacrimosa will deal the damage. But this is the current way that I'm using Sakiri. She's a good buffer, she's a good AoE grouper. She puts in work. Like, you can go and clear these carnivals like almost instantly just by dropping her giant hammer. But I think she's pretty good as a support, and I think she's super useful. If you're not taking advantage of her just because she's a short little demon girl, you're missing out. I think that supports will definitely be worth investing in this early in the game. They're not going to get power crept as quickly. Obviously, once we get some limited supports, things will change. But just look at how she runs. It's kind of hilarious. But yeah, that about wraps it up for this little Sakiri guide. Let me know, have you been using Sakiri? Like, if you pulled her, were you disappointed? I hope that this kind of changed your perspective on that. I think that she could be super useful, and I'm excited to use her in my future team with Lacrimosa, and I'm currently using her now as well. If you enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. If I missed anything, let me know down in the comments below. I'm just a man. I make mistakes. Much like buzzing my head, which was a mistake. Thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. At 10,000, we'll get a Lacrimosa tattoo, and I'll vlog it or something. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.